let's see how this all goes. Oh, that's an idiotic article title. Okay, check a few things here. Let's see, is this all in order? How is this going? I think we got everything there. Okay, time to get to work. Alright. So, we are doing page 44 today of the latest Dreamscape comic. Alright, let's lower the opacity, put in the background, and we are good to go, I think. Yeah, sorry it took a bit of time to get going on the actual video part of the stream, but I was just checking some things, starting the usual stuff, just seeing if connections are alright and everything. But why isn't that filling in? Oh no. There you go. Good old Dopey Doko. Just a blank stare into space as he calls around and makes statements. Gotta love the empty-headed look of a moronic protagonist. Yeah, right now the Hawker, the superhero girl that Doko sometimes runs into, has run off after losing her match at the tournament. It was the second to last match, and Doko is going on to face the guy that beat her, the Claw. And now he's looking for Hawker on the break in between the quarterfinals and the semifinals in the final match. Hello, Shadow. I am sure Doko appreciates the gesture, the unusual greeting. He would probably give you a poke back. Good day, Daniel. How are you doing today? Hope everything is going alright for everybody. We're just working on the latest comic page here. There we go. Sorry, there was a little pop-up on the internet window. It was saying, "Is everything going alright? Is your YouTube experience okay? What about all these useless questions that everyone always skips?" Yeah, for that stuff, it's kinda just like, well, I'm still using YouTube, so yes, it's going alright. You don't really need to ask this question to me. Get off my screen. Well, everything's been going, it's a lot calmer here now. It's, a lot quieter. It's very kind of odd without Grandma here, but, overall, it's been going alright for the time being. Some family, aunt and cousin are coming to pick some stuff up in a few days. That's about all that's really going on in the physical world for me right now. Otherwise, I'm just working on stuff all the time. Now I've sorta gone into doing, I guess, 10 to 12 hour segments of work, since I have, like, nothing else to really take care of. But that works out for me, I guess. I'll keep that going for as long as possible to get stuff actually finished and everything. Hopefully get that Invader Zim animation taken care of in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, it is kinda sad, but it was gonna happen eventually. Most we can do is just accept what happens and, I guess, carry on as best you can. I was in the room with her pretty much the whole day when it did happen. But, yeah, the family knew it was going to happen sooner than later. But, I guess on the upside, I can put my Sega Genesis out here in the living room now. So, that's, I guess, a plus. It is nice having more space to work with now, at least. I'm going to be sticking around here until Mom sorts through everything to do with the place and all that. Just sort of keep things maintained. Oh, apparently that Super Mario movie's coming out today, from what I heard. Have not really been keeping up to date on it. I do like that they have Cranky Kong in there, assuming that that's what the old Kong is in the background of the arena area. It's a nice little... Well, they have a few Kong characters, it looks like. Like, they have most of the well-known Kongs in there. Yeah, I remember that... Oh, well, that shows how much I know. Although, I will just say that it has not come out for me yet, as I have not seen it. Nah, I remember that, Donkey Kong looks the way he does, like, in modern times, because Rareware, when they redesigned him, they made him more like the Battletoads, which they had made. And, like, that's why he has the eyebrow area thing going on. I think that was why it was like that. Obviously, the original Donkey Kong, which I guess story-wise is Cranky Kong, did not look like the Rareware Donkey Kong. Yeah, I spent all day long working on this page yesterday. Or I guess not all day, I was like sort of on and off where I couldn't help but get distracted by things people were saying on the internet. And then that laid into me watching a video before I forced myself back into realizing, hey, you need to actually work on this. And so... But throughout the day, I guess I'd say it was probably a typical 6 to 8 hours of work on this comic page. And now comes the digital part of it. It's so nice now, not having a wireless type of thing for the connection. Having a direct Ethernet makes it so that this just does not seem to fail. Yeah, if I can get OBS actually, like, figure out how to get it to record more than just this one window of, like, GIMP, I might be able to actually show things like animating and maybe playing a game of some sort. But anytime I do OBS for the recording, all it records is the GIMP screen, otherwise it just has a black screen. That drawing is the primary thing I do, though, so that's the important thing to record, at least. I am probably going to watch, I think the Party Crashers or Vernius were doing a Mario Party stream later today. I'll probably have that playing while I'm working on animation or something. Just to keep my mind preoccupied with their talking while I work. Yeah, the drawing on this computer isn't as good as the other computer to me. Like, it's smooth, but when you zoom in after coloring stuff, at least for the calligraphy tool, it feels like there's more margin for error that goes on, like, doesn't get all the lines that you think it does when you're looking from farther away. It's not a huge deal, but it's just, I wish it operated the same as the Windows 7 computer's GIMP. I know this is a later version of GIMP on this computer, so it probably has a whole different, like, way that it's been set up and stuff. Speaking of farther away, Doko has a bit of a bigger head here, probably, than if he was being viewed closer up. And helps to give the shouting effect, just amplifying the scope of where the noise is coming from. The two shadow symbols on the door. You know, the hardest thing about these tournament comics, these last 3 comics I've been doing, is keeping track of, like, where everything is in the tournament grounds. Because when I made all this up in, like, 2 comics ago, I did not have anything, like, really mapped out or drawn beforehand to give, like, a blueprint of the area. So throughout the last 2 comics, on the side, I've been both trying to keep track of where everything is by going back and looking at previous pages from previous comics, and then sometimes I'll take the time to, like, draw out on some other piece of paper where everything in certain rooms in the, like, tournament building are here. Like, the middle one, the, that area, that is where the... Is that... I think that's where the fighters are? It's either that or the top... No, it is the top one up here, because this has the King's Shadow statue on the front of it. This is where the fighters are that lose. And I have that, like, that room all drawn out on another piece of paper. Hold on. Yeah. Oh. There you go. Okay. Sorry, just things getting all... Sorry. Some programs on the computer acting up. No, yeah, but that's where the fighters are. Have that drawn out on another piece of paper and stuff. Yeah, I guess here's the comic page itself, just to show this off before I get all the coloring going. And Tesley pops out of the wall because she and Mech haven't gone back to their seats yet, so she hears Doko and she just comes on over and is like, hey, what's going on? He's like, have you seen Hawker? And she's like, you lost another girl? And he tells them that she lost, and she lost, and Mech's just like poking her ass there and stuff. Then he runs off to go try to find Hawker elsewhere, where the other fighters are up there. But yeah, let's get back to actually working on the comic. Oh, that's why I got into talking about, like, the layout of all this. The King's Shadow. Because I've been... Sometimes I have kanji written on certain areas of the tournament, and then sometimes I just have King's Shadow symbol here. And sometimes it just gets a bit hard keeping track of where certain kanjis are and which ones are King's Shadow symbols. But I always remember that the doors to, like, the entrance of where the fighters stay before the matches have the King's Shadow symbols on it. This here, this area, has kanji that I'm going to write in white over the black after I fill that in. Can't remember quite what the kanji says, because sometimes I'll look up kanji to, like, see what is, Writing kanji always makes it look a lot cooler to me than writing English words. So, I'll sometimes look up what something is in Japanese, and then write the thing in Japanese, not really paying attention, because most of the time, like, the signs and stuff do not appear after, like, their first one time I intend to use them. But sometimes there'll be instances where it does reappear and I keep using the location. And that gets a bit troubling, because I'll forget what the, like, thing I had written in Japanese was, since I don't know Japanese off the top of my head. So I have to keep going back and looking at what I had written to, like, see what the design of the Japanese characters are when I rewrite it again. Oh. Oh. Okay. There we go. Well, I am glad that you are in anticipation for this page, Valier. It is always a joy making them. I had pancakes today. Or a pancake. Pancake and bacon. Yeah, sometimes I do not eat much because I just forget to eat with how much I'm making stuff. Let's see, let's switch the music up. What's this? Hello? Oh! That's Buttville. That's also Buttville. Let's go with this one. Yeah, I know some people call this, this track the Queen's Lair, but I don't know if they have, like, actual names other than, the level they appear in Earthworm Jim. Oh, I think the first one is, like, the actual track name is called Living in a Landmine. This one, though, I don't know if it has an actual track name. Yeah, run out of breath after doing that. Not being ready for it. I always love Earthworm Jim music, it's so catchy. Since I have Special Edition, I used to just put the game in a CD player and it'd play the soundtrack of the game. Just draw pictures and stuff to the music. I had a few different games that I did that with. There was Echo the Dolphin, the special, the Sega CD version. There was the Sega Saturn version of Sonic 3D Blast. And I guess, yeah, I used to draw sometimes to the Sonic CD soundtrack, too. Those were the ones I always put in the CD player to listen to the music of while I worked. That was years ago, though. I haven't had the CD player out in years, so haven't really done that since Iowa. Oh well, if Mech had his way, he'd probably be on the other side. But no, he got pulled through by Tesley. But fortunately for him, her butt is also on the side he's on, so it works out in his case. And as per usual, just giving the standard reminder, if you guys are behind at all in the video, be sure to pull the timeline bar to the right. Oh, I love this track. This was always one of my favorite ambient pieces of video game music. Mystical Ninja. Mount Fear. Yeah, I could always work to this music. I can listen to this all day long and probably not get bored of it. Hello, Handgun, how are you doing? We're just working on page 44, the latest comic here. Bowyer has been admiring Tesley's backside. And Doko is searching for the Hawker. And I'm playing some Mystical Ninja music that I love. Mount Fear from Mystical Ninja starring Goemon on the Nintendo 64. Another piece of music that I sometimes imagine animating a scene to. Mystical Ninja, that 64 game of it is one of the games that I always wanted to live in when I was little. Just the Japanese village and the sliding doors and everything. A pot of tea boiling in the center of the house on the tatami mats and all that. Then having all sorts of killer robots and everything in the rural fields. I've still got that game, at least. And the sequel, or not really sequel, but the other Goemon game for the 64, which is Goemon's Great Adventure. The side-scroller on the 64. Though my favorite for the 64 is just starring Goemon, because it's just so much fun. And as much as I like side-scrollers, goddamn is Goemon's Adventure hard as hell at parts. Yeah, Goemon, starring Goemon is actually, when we first had the 64, I did not know what a memory card was. 'Cause I thought back then, you just beat a game, and like, you beat it, you have to sit there the entire time and not turn the thing off. So, I did not understand when it asked if you wanted to save your progress in the adventure diary or whatever. I didn't know there were memory cards. So one day, I just decided I'm gonna see what the end of this game is like. And I sat there from, like, the time the sun came up until the time the moon was out, and I finally beat the game in one sitting. And later I realized there are memory cards and what those are, but doing that is an experience I will never forget. Is just an entire day of that adventure. It was magical. And very exhausting. I guess I kinda... The Sega Saturn Resident Evil, I also didn't... I don't have the ability to use the in-game memory because it's corrupted, so... Beating that one, I left it on all night so it would not, like, erase everything. And then it ended up freezing overnight, so I had to redo the entire thing, but eventually I got through that game. Oh, and as is custom in Doko's world, there is a mix of all sorts of people here. Got some elf-eared old man and a giraffe person worker in the background. Yeah, like with Dragon Ball, I prefer to think of it more as Earthlings rather than humans that are like the people of Earth. Yeah, it can be pretty rough if you're trying to go through an RPG without the ability to save. But it is pretty cool if you manage to pull off getting through the game without saving. Yeah, fortunately for Resident Evil, if I remember right, it has points that it will, like, start you out at like a checkpoint, depending on how far you've gotten through the game. It won't tell you where the checkpoint is, but you won't have to start from the very beginning if you die, if you've gotten far enough. Yeah, I've seen a few images of Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah, nothing quite like going through I Wanna Be the Guy with no saves. Would not wish that fate on anybody. I was watching a Cyber Shell documentary. Well, not a Cyber Shell, he wasn't really the one hosting that one, but he's on it. But, it was a documentary about, like, Newgrounds censorship, and, mostly dealt with, the Flash games that one guy did of the, I think, Sandy Hook Massacre, and another shooting that happened. It was basically just a troll in the first one. And, not sure where I was going with that, because my brain just turned off midway through me talking about that. But yeah, that happened. Was that? Oh, it was because I mentioned I want to be the guy, and I started thinking about internet video games, or indie Flash games, or whatever you want to categorize all that stuff as. Yeah, sometimes with bosses, it feels more like luck of the draw. Oh goody, we got Tesley and Doko on one page. Blackening everything forever. They are the characters, the main characters, that have the most amount of blacks on their design. So it's always a treat when I have to fill in all this. The entire page. I know that the guy that does Keep Your Hands Off Aizuken also does comic-making streams, but they're in Japanese, so I can never understand what he's saying, but it's still always incredible to watch the artist create the stuff. And I do sometimes understand what people in chat are saying, because I have Google Translate on the side that I can put whatever they've typed into. Not liking how that eyelash is going. Yeah. No, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a guy that does Keep Your Hands Off Aizuken. Aizoken, however you say it. he's still doing it. Apparently, it's gone on for quite a while after the anime. I think there was... I haven't read enough of it yet, but I think there was like a tournament that they ended up getting into, like, where groups competed to see who made the best anime or whatever. That type of thing. I always thought of Midori as kind of the main character of Aizuken, but Tsubame, she, the model, what do you call them? The pretty girl of them. It was kind of about her for a part with the parent conflict and everything. But the whole spirit of it feels more like it's Midori's show. Or Asukasa. Yeah, I need to finish up watching the anime of Aizuken, because I keep putting that off because I don't want it to end, because it's just so good to watch, and I want to have that sense of new stuff to see from it. I don't want it to end. I know there's the manga, but it's not the same as watching that animated, because the whole aspect of making an anime works so well with the animation aspect. It's just kind of sad to me that, like, you're never guaranteed with anime for it to cover the entire manga. Like, that and Watamode and stuff like that. It's like, oh, this is so much fun and now it's over. Why have we stopped when it's clear that their adventures are not over? It's just kind of irritating. And I also wanna keep reading the manga and watch the anime at the same time, because I'm taking notes for if I ever do a review of it for, like, each version. It's, I've also been doing that with Hilda sometimes, but I've seen all of that and stuff, and, like, I've seen the tie-in comics they're doing now, the covers of them at least, where, like, Hilda is older now, it looks like, so whenever the show comes back, I imagine she's gonna be more like a preteen or teenager with how tall she's getting in the tie-in books. Yeah, it's always interesting to see how a series develops and everything. With how I am, I usually don't do a review of something for, like, until the entire series is done. Unless it's like an individual game review or something, which is like, yeah, that's whatever, or a movie or something. But I always like to have everything completed before I give my thoughts on the piece. Although everything is subject to change, it's all whatever each review I'm feeling like doing at the time, how I'm going to do each one at the time. But usually I like to have everything all all together and all complete before I cover it. And then there's getting into the behind the scenes, how things were made and everything, watching all the interviews and documentaries and all that. Making of Samurai Jack and everything. I guess I have wanted to do a Ninja Turtles review at some point, but I never really have a set idea on what to do the review of. And then after I decide on that, it's like, well, I have so many other things that I'm doing, and so many other reviews and stuff that I have a solid idea of. But Ninja Turtles is always fun, at least. Yawn, yawn, yawn. Yeah, I could be like Lucy Loud and just, instead of doing the verbal action, state what I intend to do. Sigh, groan, concerned harumph. Well, I also want to animate an opening for that Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. That is a very catchy theme tune that they have for the main theme. Always picture the characters being animated, like, sort of in an introductory way to them fighting and stuff. It's such a shame to me that they did Invader Zim in that game, but did not do Dib. Like, how do you do a main bad guy and not have his arch enemy in a fighting game? Such a missed opportunity there. Although I was astounded they had anything from Ren and Stimpy, Powdered Toast Man and all that. Wow. Could even see Mr. Horse in the background of the space level and stuff. Yeah, I remember Dib was in that one. I think they had Gaz in there, but she wasn't playable. She was just a side character. Although they had Gaz playable in, like, that sports game. I think it was a baseball one, where you had, I think, Patrick was the, like, commentary guy, and Gaz was one of the players that you could, like, use. If I remember right, all the characters had voice lines recorded for that game. They didn't record any voice lines for the All-Stars Brawl thing, at least at first. I don't know if they've put that in through DLC or whatever afterwards. They should if they haven't. Like, how do you do Nigel Thornberry and not have him say smash it? That is just a crime. Yeah, I don't remember, but apparently, according to my parents, when I was little, I had a crush on Angelica from the Rugrats. I do not remember that at all. I remember her stories to the babies terrified me because of, like, the nightmare sequences they'd animate to them. But I guess sometimes you just like bad girls. I remember the comics for, like, the Nickelodeon magazine comics were sort of hinting that Angelica might have a crush on Chucky, which surprised me. And now I'm making my own comics. The main comics that I read when I was younger, though, were like the 60s Spider-Man comics and stuff. Unless it was Batman animated, Batman was pretty boring to me for the comic stuff back then. The Batman animated comics were pretty fun, though. And of course, Dragon Ball, that was always fun to have. A lot better than a lot of American stuff back then. Yeah, it's interesting to me, like, animation or the, entertainment industry for, like, animation and comics and stuff goes through its phases, but it's, like, split in half. Like, America will go through a phase, but at the same time, Japan will be going through its own different phase in the medium. Like, one can be good while the other is bad, or vice versa. Oh, Calvin and Hobbes is a work of art. That is one of the greatest, I think, newspaper comics. Like, that is, like, it can have really silly stuff, but at the same time, he can draw such really great pieces. Like, when Calvin's doing the, detective with, like, the cigarette in his mouth and stuff, and there's, like, all the smoke around the room and everything. It is magical, the types of pieces he can make. And Susie and Calvin totally got together when they were older. There is no way those two did not like each other deep down. You can't beat the classics. Yeah, that's old school. Oh, well, I guess a little competition is going on right now, then. Sorry to interrupt your stream, Masasa. I'm sure you're getting plenty done yourself, though. I have seen strips that, like, fans have made where, like, Calvin and her are together later and have, like, a daughter and stuff that's inherited Hobbes, and he's getting her into trouble and everything. Calvin will, like, glare at the stuffed animal and stuff. Well, I have been streaming for about an hour now, Masasa. I didn't see you streaming when I started, but you might have been. I wasn't really... I just sorta started, like, didn't check anything beforehand. Just got back from eating a pancake and bacon, and, figured, well, I got the page done yesterday, I may as well get to editing it, and I have a stable connection now, so let's see if I can stream this properly. Yeah, Hobbs and Bacon is a really fun spin-off thing. Oh, wow. Well, it is nice to have a co-streamer today. I hope the music here is not getting too old for anyone. I'll probably switch it in a few minutes. Yeah, for those that are just joining us, Tesley is pulling Mech through a wall here. They're seeing what Doko's hollering about, because he's run off after Hawker. And, she lost her match, so he's looking for her, and they're like, wait, she lost? And Mech's being a pervert here. And, Doko runs off to try and go find Hawker elsewhere, where the, other fighters are watching from up there. Yeah, it gets a bit hard at times keeping track of where each room and everything is. The tournament arena area, the tournament grounds here are like the longest I have ever had the characters in any setting. So it's been interesting to, like, have them keep going back and forth between the same rooms over the course of the last couple of comics. I will be happy once they, move on to other adventures and I draw more variety in the settings again. Alright. Mech's got the black around his eye. Go. I can hear my stomach starting to growl, but thankfully I have a bag of some treats here. Old El Paso Fiesta Twist Cinnamon Churro. This will surely provide sustenance, not have me pass out from lack of nutrition. We have a little animal person in the background here. They're supposed to be carrying, like, a roll of sushi and an onigiri or a rice ball, but it's so far back that it's probably a bit useless to really define it as anything. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, just a second. I have to check something. Oh. Okay, let's see. Alright. Okay. And there we go. Oh, well, it's impressive to me, Masasa, that you are able to stream and watch a stream at the same time. That sounds like it'd be very complex. I always hear people go on about a little game called Gartic Phone or something. It looks like it has something to do with streaming and art, but I'm not sure what exactly. You know, back when I started my YouTube channel in, I think the year of 2006 or something, I never thought there would be something where you could, like, do a live broadcast and interact with the audience and stuff. That seemed like it'd be just magic to me. Well, maybe at some point we can do it. I am always ready to draw. Yeah, I think Gartic Phone has been around for a couple of years now. I've just never actually, like, seen it or anything. Said I was gonna switch the music, so I'm gonna switch the music. Let's see. E to the X power. Okay, this is ambient. Oh, okay, I know what this is. Yeah, that should work. Just don't want it too loud or anything. If any of the sound stuff, like, if you can't hear me at all, or the music gets to be too loud, just let me know and I can adjust it. Right now, though, Seems pretty okay. Yeah. Doko and his buddies. The hero talking and the other two stuck in a wall. Yeah, lower this a bit. Yeah, probably not gonna have this one on for too long. This is a track I don't usually listen to. Which is to say nothing of Metroid Prime's music, it is wonderful. Or Metroid music, this is Super Metroid, I think. I'm actually getting through this page a lot quicker than I thought I would, given all the blacks that I'm having to fill in. Okay, get the sole of this guy's boot here. Oh well, congratulations on beating the giant handgun. Yeah, they never really went in depth on how those things were made in the game. I remember theories that regenerators and El Gigantes came off of the same program, but nothing actually confirmed. Because obviously Mikami did not think of anything, he just thought, well, this will be a good boss, so here it is. Don't go Rapilzo. My mom does not like Doko's last name. She's okay with the Doko part, but she does not like Rapilzo. That I name the characters what I want. Well, I would appreciate that, handgun. If there's anything Resident Evil 4 needed, it was like actual background information to it. Although, do not care for them getting rid of the U3 and making it a Verdugo. That is just weird. Yeah, I don't know why she doesn't care for the name. It's, just odd to her, I think. A lot of names... Well, I've always made really weird names, like, Rathshez Volvin and Hemo Chaplin and stuff. I just came up with what I thought were, like, cool or interesting sounding names when I was little for characters, and I've never really stopped doing that. Okay, let's not play that again. That was just a bit odd. Yeah, I guess we'll go with this one for now. There we go. Go. Oh, Yeah, the closest my stuff ever got to Resident Evil type of material was the Fendrite stuff for my my world that this takes place in, which is what Mech here was leading a project called it was a Fendrite research project before the series began. And Fendrite is basically this mutagenic substance that is sort of like addictive. It's sort of like a drug, but it has very severe effects if you like take too much of it, and it makes the people of our time period more aggressive, and eventually they start trying to feed off of blood of other people and stuff, and makes them more vampire-ish, but there's already like actual vampires in this world, so they're more like animalistic vampire type of infected people. And by the time period of the comics, the humanity or Earthlings have been so modified over the generations, or adapted and evolved alongside Fendrite, that they're mostly immune to it. Like, people still get addicted and stuff to it, and it's like illegal, but it does not cause people to mutate like they did in our time period from it as much. If you get like a ton of it still, yeah, it's like, oh, well, I'm immune to radiation because I am more evolved than my ancestors, so I'm gonna blast myself with like a gallon of it. And it's like, yeah, that's obviously still gonna do stuff to you. And that's sort of how it is with the people of Doko's time period, is they're more immune to it, but don't be an idiot about it. Because it can still cause things to happen. And Mech was leading a research team on the substance before he met Tesley or anything. It's part of his backstory. And yeah, Fendrite, the stuff that it causes in our time period, is probably the closest in this series of mine that I get to like Resident Evil type of material. It's sort of like a mix between Resident Evil and like Phazon type qualities from Metroid Prime, I guess. Hello, Igor or Igor, how are you doing today? We are working on the latest comic page here. Oh, well, I am happy to have you stop by. I hope everything is going well. We've just been chit-chatting about all sorts of things. Things about the world my comics take place in, and different video game series and stuff. Yeah, it's, this is page 44 of comic number 14. Yeah, I'm alright, I guess. I just got breakfast a little bit ago and sat down to start working here and decided, well, I've got a stable connection, so I guess I'm gonna stream today and show people the comic making process. So, Yeah, that's what I'm up to here. And got some music playing in the background. And right now we got Metroid music going. Oh. Well, my real name is not something I usually give out, but I'm sure some people here know what it is. But hello there, Donut. I usually just call people by their screen names, but if I remember, I'll try to say Donut. It gets a bit hard remembering different real names with all the screen names that show up, so I'll probably default to Igor or Igor or whatever. But for the time being, greetings, Donut. Oh, well. You are welcome. Yeah, I did not think it was donut or anything, but the donut thing seemed like it made more sense to me. And let's switch the music here. It's a bit of a long one. Criteria, BG music. Yeah, let's go with this one. Yeah, people mess up my name a lot, but that's in the spelling rather than the, like, verbal saying of it. They spell it with an IE instead of just an E. Yeah, I was figuring... that a lot of people would probably default to Donut when they saw it. And yeah, when it comes to screen names, Handgun, like, Edward in Warahi is not my real name, but anytime anyone says Edward, it's like, oh, they're talking about me, because I know when people say that, it is about me on the internet. I've been around long enough that that's what everyone knows me by. Yeah, I just took the name because it was the name of a character from my favorite show, and used that for the Bionicle website back in 2000. Ed, and Eddie. Edward. I have never heard of The Sun Vanished. That sounds like some creepypasta. I used to listen to creepypastas quite a bit back, a few years back. Like, the town came back, but it was different, or those types of titles. I could not stand the EXE one. ones. Those were just, like, dumb to me. Like, none of that made any sense, and it was just, here's a spooky image of Sonic at the end. Although, when I was little, I was terrified of the Tails doll. That was like an urban legend more than a creepypasta, because that predated the creepypasta stuff. It was like the video game mystery era, where it was like the stop and swap from Banjo-Kazooie and the Pokegod rumors in Pokemon, or the Mew under the truck. Oh, it sounds like it could be a creepypasta type thing if it's giving video game type art. Had the music a bit too loud there. Well, yeah, they did have that Sonic Murdered game that they came out with. It feels... that was a bit odd to me, because it was like, they never do, like, that type of material for Sonic, but it looks more like it's a Clue whodunit type of thing, rather than, like, a murder. It's more of just a murder happened, and it's not, like, graphic or anything. Oh, Geometry Dash. Okay, that makes sense. I've actually never played Geometry Dash. I've just always seen and heard of it. There was this guy on Facebook that was like, would always go on about it every day. And that got a bit tiring. But other than that, it seemed like, yeah, it's a game. I'm more of a Centipede Frogger guy myself. PS1 Frogger is the best Frogger. And for as iffy as it can be at times, the PS1 Dreamcast Centipede is pretty awesome to me. Yeah, we haven't had Mech here being as much of a pervert the last few comics, but that's because he has not been able to have as much opportunity to do so. He hasn't been on screen as much. So this is kind of making up for it, I guess. Well, if you like monsters, I do have a lot of stuff on Resident Evil. I do plan to make a survival horror game at some point, but gotta make the time to actually work on that. Most of my time is spent doing the comic, and I do need to start remaking the first comic immediately after this, so that I can actually, like, start publishing it. But, yeah, that's my plans going forward, mainly, is, working on the Invader Zim animation, getting that finished up. Then finishing this comic and remaking the first comic. Yeah, it's just so much work. But it eventually gets done if you keep doing it. Well, making monsters is always a fun time. I used to make monsters quite a bit in high school. Afterwards, though, I switched back more to the cartoony stuff I normally do. Although there are some monster-y things in the world that these comics take place in. Haven't gotten as much to that stuff yet, though. Yeah, I think we're on year 11. Like, 11 years I've been doing the comics now. I think Masasa is someone I've actually been talking to since before I started the comics. She's been around for a while. Yeah, you do like your pumpkins, Belmont. And I guess you do check in on GameFAQs still, since you talked about something that was on there last night. Well, if you'd like to give it, donat, feel free. I'm assuming you'll probably get back into GameFAQs before too much longer, Handgun. Oh, I have been getting towards the end of the Bomberman Jetters anime. It's the first time seeing that in quite a few years, but I remember most of it. Best video game anime ever created. Either that or like Kirby or something, but usually Bomberman Jetters is pretty special to me. Yeah, I remember when Dead Space came out, and just kinda seemed like a ripoff of Martian Gothic to me. Never actually played Dead Space, but it always looks fun. I just wish Martian Gothic could have, been, properly completed. Like, it's a game that's playable, but it did not have everything in it that was meant to be there. Which is very obvious if you're paying attention to, the game, and you, start questioning, wait, why'd I get this amount of items for just this many characters, and, why is there a talk of two people being able to escape, but I don't get to choose who? And it's like, Yeah, there's obviously things that were not able to be put into the game with the constraints they had. It's always kind of a shame to me, but I do love the game still. It's a very interesting game. Martian Gothic is a PlayStation 1 survival horror game where obviously it's on Mars, and you, are controlling 3 characters that you have to keep switching between, but you can't have any of them meet up, otherwise they'll all die. And it's a very interesting game. You have to figure out why everyone's dead there, and why they're able to get back up and attack and stuff. There's, creatures made out of 3 people mashed together into, organic horrors and stuff later on. It's got a lot of thought put into it. I don't know. Oh, I knew you'd love this page, Bowyer. Yeah, she doesn't care as much now about Mech, touching her, since they're basically dating at this point. It's like, you saw them in bed together in the other comic, so... Although I'm sure that, given who they are, they're not going to have the most stable relationship. It probably will not be one that lasts forever. Probably on and off, but given how they are, it's gonna be a rocky time with them. Oh, the characters in Martian Gothic can't meet Donut because you don't find out until later on, but if they do meet, they end up merging together, like how the organic monster things that are like a mishmash of different people, they end up becoming one of those. They get sucked into each other and get all their bones and organs all mixed up together into one monstrosity and stuff. It's a game over if that happens, obviously. Yeah, it's never a good time. But at the end of the game, you figure out a way to, get rid of what's causing that for the characters, so they can finally interact at the end of the game. The PC version is, the better version, but the PlayStation 1 version, it's playable. It's just, the PC version feels like a special edition with the extra effects and stuff they have in that. And I think they have more enemy types and things. Yeah, different versions of games back then would always have their own unique stuff to them. Yeah, the Sega Saturn version of Resident Evil 1 had enemies in it that are not in any other version of the game. It had the Tick variation of hunters, and it had the Gold Tyrant that immediately killed me, because I only knew of there being one tyrant at the end of the game. Good times. Now I am taking a bite of a snack because I am getting hungry. Yeah, I was talking with one of the Project Umbrella guys at one point, and they had said, I forget which one said it, it was like in the main chat, I think, and I brought up the Gold Tyrant, and they had said that, well, maybe that extra Tyrant in the modern stuff became Talos, since Sergei took a Tyrant out of the facility before you got there in the modern stuff. Which is obviously not the intent of what the Gold Tyrant is, but it's, I thought that was an interesting way to view it. Yeah, the Phazon elites in Metroid Prime are sort of like tyrants for the space pirates. Saw someone playing the remaster of Metroid Prime who'd never played like Metroid Prime before, and they were like, as they got further into it, they were just saying like, you know, the space pirates are like Umbrella, but in space. And I just completely blackened the page. Let's fix that. Yeah, because the space pirates are always experimenting on their own kind and stuff. No regard at all for any life. Yeah. Mech here, and he is the reason that this series would not be rated for kids. Kinda made Mech up originally because I'd never done a pervert character before. I wanted to see if I could do it, and how I could do it. And so far, Mech's worked out in that regard. Although the main story function he was to serve was to be the genius of the group. Which he is, but he does enjoy his ladies. Uh-oh. Nope. There we go. There. Got the sky all done. Yeah, this really has gone quite a bit quicker than I was expecting it to. Alright. Sorry, it is getting a bit warm in here. I think I've been sitting and talking for too long. Yawn, yawn, yawn. go. I think I only have Doko left to color there. After that, it's just filling in the white lines that remain. Yeah, I always figured if I were to make an actual television show of the series, that there would be a censored version for, like, showing for, like, kids programming. And then the uncensored version would be shown on, like, Adult Swim and stuff. That's how I would do it in a perfect world, but I know due to, like, corporate meddling and stuff, that probably would not happen. But it's how I'd like it to be. Because I'm sure there is stuff that children would like in this, but obviously the stuff, like all the stuff in the comic, is not suitable for kids to see. If it were when I was growing up, though, you'd just end up catching it by accident, or your parents would have it and not care that you're seeing it. I am getting hungry, I guess. And the pancake is wearing off. What should I make to eat? Oh, I know, I'll do spaghetti later. I got all the stuff for that. Yeah, get some hamburger and some onion, zucchini, and put it together in the sauce. The scariest chef I have ever seen is from the Gregory Horror Show. Guy has a candle on his head, and he will go berserk and, like, kill you if you come back into the kitchen. Blow the candle out, though, and he can't move or anything. He sort of deactivates until it gets relit. I do have to... I got all these video game systems out here in the living room now that I'm trying to set up and stuff, since I have the place all to myself for the time being. It does clear up some space where I was keeping the video game systems. And, video games themselves are in the closet. I've got, like, over 100 video games, I think. The ones I have the most of are PlayStation 1. After that would be the GameCube and Sega Genesis games. Never really understood why people got rid of their video games and their systems. Never made much sense to me. But I think I have everything basically colored here. Just gotta go back and fill in all the lines. So, save. There we go. Take a bite of a snack. And let's get to work. Okay. Get rid of that. Yeah. I don't know what my favorite video game system is. I love the GameCube, but I also love the Sega Genesis. I feel like I should like the DS more, but I honestly feel like the Game Boy Advance was the best handheld system. It had the best games on it to me. It felt like a sequel to the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo with its library and capabilities. Yeah, Game Boy Advance is my favorite handheld, I know that. Just Metroid Fusion, Zero Mission, Sonic Advance, Drill Dozer, Mega Man Zero. Just all wonderful titles. Then on the GameCube, that was like, the GameCube felt like the best quality system of the generation. I love the Dreamcast, but with how it was in America, it didn't have as much of a shot. It was in Japan, that did tremendously over there. But all the after effects of the Tom Kalinske Saturn Day and the Sega Saturn Bernie Stolar decisions and stuff utterly ruined their chances here. Such a sad story. I always have to, like, whenever people bring up, like, the Sega CD not being good and stuff, it's like, yeah, but look at Nintendo's attempt. They did even worse. They had the CDI. Like, really? It's always kind of laughable to me, because a lot of people seem like they don't take into account some of the stuff that Nintendo's done when they talk about how great they could be and stuff. Like, I like Nintendo for some things, but they did a lot of stuff that I do not like. But, yeah. Oh, what is the weird thing you have thought of, Donut? By all means, feel free to share. The chat is open to people of all talking points. Yeah, as long as you don't try to, like, I guess, spread insane conspiracies and terrorist violence or whatever. I like how half of the population of my chat is in Florida. Yeah, that sounds like a horror protagonist. When I think of hidden things with crowbars and stuff, I generally think of Silent Hill. Which, to me, Silent Hill 1 is the best Silent Hill. Well, you just entered chat, Donut, but assuming that I had said Florida and you were responding to that, I assume you are in Florida then. Like, I think almost every single other person that ever comes to these streams. I know Masasa and I think Handgun are in Florida. I think Shadow, the cartoonist, is in Florida. Handgun's Canada. Yeah. Okay, so we got Canadian. We got 2 Floridians at least. And we got... Well, currently I'm an Ohioan. Although I don't really classify myself as anything, because I've lived all across the country. Oh, Croatian. That's nice. I have talked to some Croatians in Discord, at least. I think Mango Cat, her Discord has some. Because she's not from America. And they've got quite a variety of people in her Discord. Yeah, nah. Well, I do hope you are doing okay, Donut. I know it can be rough in certain parts of the world. The worst I've seen is probably Salvador, South America. No, not Salvador, no. What's it called? Caracas. That place. That is like the most dangerous city on the planet, or at least it was. Hopefully it's gotten better since I saw about it, but it was pretty bad when I took a look. And then you got places like that Snake Island where there's just snakes. And that's like all there is on the island, is just filled with like the most lethal snakes there are. Horror place. One of the nicest places I've been is probably Toronto. A very clean city from what I saw. Let's find some different music. Is it an evil? Dark Side Chronicle. Oh, the suspended doll. What do we got here? Astro Boy, Ambient, Final Fortress, Fluttershy. Just sorting through the music here to see what I can play. El Mañana. Let's see, what's this? Yeah, I always loved the, how in Sonic 2 they have, like, special tracks that play in the two-player mode. And, I always wanted to do a remake of the classic Sonic games. And I figured that for Sonic 2's remake, every level would have, like, Act 1 and Act 2 would have, like, one of them would have the normal soundtrack, and then the other act would have the two-player soundtrack. And then for, like, Metropolis Zone, it would have either some cut soundtrack for Act 3, or it'd have a remix of, like, both tracks. Well, no. No, because there's just one track for there was a remix that I was going to have made for that. That's all what-ifs and things I'm never going to get around to, because I don't have time to. I love Sonic music, it's so catchy. That and Mega Man music are like the two go-to types of music for if you want quality video game music. I think I have all of the Sad AM cartoon of Sonic on a hard drive. The one with Julian Robotnik. And I think it's Jim Cummings that voices him there. The one that talks like this. Oh yes. So villainous. Always has the horrific red robot eyes that glow in the dark. Oh, I guess I did not have that set to loop. Okay. What's a different song I can do then? A lot of gorillas there. Yeah, let's do this. And a reminder, if you are not up to date, pull your timeline bar to the right so that you can hear what I am talking about currently. Assuming I'm gonna be talking. I may be caught up in work too much, but I usually make time to commentate. Found out today that in Batman the Animated Series, originally they had wanted to do Catwoman with black hair, but because of the Batman... which one was it? Batman Returns, the movie, with Catwoman in it back in the 90s. Because of that, they decided to do her with blonde hair. I did not know that was the reason. Either way, the Batman animated series completely kicks the ass of that movie. Not the worst movie, but not comparable to animated. As is the case with most things, Batman animated remains pretty much arguably the best Batman thing ever created. Let's see, did I... Okay, get off my screen. There. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to need to eat after I get off of here. Feel the stomach growling. It's very odd here now with it being this quiet. Like, I'm fine with quiet. It's just, after having someone here, having had them here for as long as they were, it's just feels weird now. But I'm able to draw and stuff, so as long as I can get this done, that's what matters. What is your guys' favorite game ever created? For me, it would probably be Earthworm Jim. Special edition, preferably. Although I love a great many games. Vector Man, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles. Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear 2. Okay. I guess on the topic of the music, Pokemon Crystal. Resident Evil. Oh, Veronica. Not Code Veronica X, because Wesker doesn't get bitch slapped into a wall in that version. Funniest moment of the series. Wesker really was someone that just thought he was greater than he was. Like, he has his greatness, but he really overestimates himself at times. Oh, I do love a good Spyro. The one I played the most was the first Spyro, though. Always. I know everyone loves 2, but Spyro 1 just had a special something to it to me. And whenever I think of Spyro, for some reason I also think of Blasto, which was another PS1 game that was like a Buck Rogers ripoff. Like, if you gave Zap Brannigan a mission to, like, save Earth, and he was slightly more capable, that's kind of what the character is. Oh wow, you just got a whole list of them there, handgun. Yeah, from my experience, Final Fantasy VI is what I'd consider the best Final Fantasy. Wind Waker is my favorite Zelda, although I do like Majora's Mask. Pretty good. I really wish you did not need a whole big setup to be able to play 4 swords. Yeah, I always it was always odd to me, like, Final Fantasy had amazing concept art, but it looked nothing like the games actually did. Even when they got into the, like, ability to do the characters more like how they look in the concept art, they still just did sort of their own designs with, like, little linings of the concept art to them. I do love the artwork that was made, but it was always just kind of odd to me that they just went so far away from that in the final products. The artist I always love watching work is Yoji Shinkawa when it comes to video game artists. He is incredible. I've seen him do, like, Snake before from Metal Gear without even, like, penciling it out first. He just does the ink right on the, like, canvas and it comes out perfect. I am always envious of people that can do that. I do remember them doing the remakes of the Final Fantasy games a little bit ago, though I think the version you're talking about is an even more recent one. And I know, from what I've seen, the pixel remasters are sorta up and down on if they're better than other versions or not. Sometimes the pixel remasters will be like the definitive versions, and other times some of the older versions will be the better version. I think for Final Fantasy VI, that was the one that was hardest to decide on, because it is already a pretty amazing game, like, capability-wise, so it's not as much of an enhancement as with the titles before it. That, and everyone likes certain localizations for the, what the characters say and stuff. And certain broken mechanics that are not supposed to be how they are, but that are iconic from the original versions of that game. Yeah, I'm just going to deflect Ultima. Try again, buddy. Like, it's hilarious, but that seems a bit unfair. If I had it my way, I'd have all the old games just redrawn and everything to look like how they're supposed to. Oh yeah, I did see that Pixel remasters did tend to be easier looking. But that sort of comes with the territory of modern gaming, I think. A lot of times these days, games are not hard at all. It's, they'll sometimes include the option to have a challenge, but nowadays challenge is not really the primary focus for the main industry, I don't think. Which is pretty sad to me, because that's part of what made the game so fun, was getting your ass kicked and then overcoming it as you learn it. Certainly would not find Vector Man as memorable if I was just given, like, infinite health or whatever. Oh yeah, he exploded into pieces, but we're going to start you right back after the ledge you fell off of. And it's like, what? Why? Why are you doing that? I get if you, like, maybe if you, like, just lose a life, maybe have that, but, like, for when you should get a game over, it's like, I need some sort of detriment here to make it feel like it matters. But that was kind of a inevitable outcome of appealing more to the casual or general audience. That is what companies see makes the most money, so they'll throw whatever they can at them. Beat the heat with the digi beat. Well, summer beat the heat with the digi beat. Well, given that I have not played a Resident Evil since, Resident Evil 5, I don't know quite how the unlocks are handled now, but, I'd say they work best if you, like, beat the game under certain conditions, or beat it in a certain amount of time, or on a certain difficulty. Or beat Nemesis and he drops the special weapons. That was always the coolest and best way that they handled the secret items to me, was like, yeah, you want to run from this guy, but what happens if I beat him? And oh my god, he has the handgun that blasts off every head of the zombies. That was an amazing way to do the special weapon stuff to me. Totally beatable without any of it, but it's like, if you want it, you can work for it, you can earn it. That's a type of mentality that isn't like, it's still around, but it's not as prevalent as it was. Of course, you could just say I'm an old man and, just go play your Sega tapes, Grandpa. Oh, I cannot stand. DLC is just... that has kinda just ruined how games are, to me. It's like, everything that you can get, I feel you should be able, like, there shouldn't be a buying it type of thing. You should just be able to earn it, work for it. Don't like Sonic Adventure 2, Green Hill Zone means nothing if you just buy it. Like, that completely defeats the point of getting all the emblems to get it. Like, what the hell? That's how things are now. The most you can do is just find a good indie game and experience the actual passion for gaming again through those. Sometimes the big companies will put out some good stuff. Usually not, but sometimes. But the indie things are always the way to go when it comes to things that are actually interesting. Oh wow, am I at... I think I've done all the blacks on here. This is not what I expected to be the amount of time I took to get this done. Thought it'd take a lot longer. How long have I been... 2 hours? What? Feels like I've only been going for like 1 hour. Like, it feels like I just told Masasa a few minutes ago that I'd been going for an hour. Yeah, that does provide quite a problem when you're looking for games, but at the same time, indie stuff does allow anybody to make a game. So, you might have some good, but might have some bad, but when you get the good, it is pretty worth it. Okay, let's see. Do I have all the blacks filled in? Okay. Let's raise the opacity. There we go. Well, I'm sure your blacks went a lot quicker than mine, Masasa. You're always a goddess when it comes to coloring. Now just go over and see what all I need to shape up here. Yeah, this computer always seems to leave a lot more to, like, fix up in the aftermath of the black coloring. The other computer, it's not nearly this much stuff, it doesn't feel like, that needs to be touched up. I still gotta write the kanji on that. Oh, I worship you every day. Well, tablets do take some getting used to, Handgun. It does not feel like a sketchbook or anything. The pen or pencil feels a lot more floaty on a tablet. You gotta get used to that mentality of it going where you're intending for it to go, but not immediately. What do I... Y2. Okay. Y2, Y2, Y2. Ba 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 ba. Mischief. Sorry, just sorting through some other... Here we go. And again, if the music ever gets too noisy, be sure to let me know. I can turn it down. Ah. 90s Japanese openings. Okay, all that looks good. Yeah, this is the opening for Mischief Makers, the Nintendo 64 treasure game, which we will sadly never ever see again, probably. I would love a remake or a sequel, but that is not happening. Shake, shake. Yeah, Mischief Makers is one of the all-time best games. Used to freeze on me. Like, I have 2 copies of the game. And when I get to like the cave area where you had to play hide and seek or find all the kids, if you did not keep moving, the game would just freeze. And I don't know why, but in both copies of it, that happened. I eventually got through it, but it was really annoying and really worrying. Help me, Marina! Or at least have Marina and Smash Brothers or something. Okay, that looks good, that looks good. Looks okay. Just checking over things, making sure all the blacks are lining up correctly. Okay, okay. That's good enough. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, yeah, and I'll have to add the kanji there too. And let's make this black. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay, sorry if I'm being too quiet right now. Just focusing a bit. Alright, I think that's good. Let's see about this. Let's make it so that it looks like the black is naturally there more. Okay. Then this area is supposed to blend into black. So let's see what we can do about this. Okay. Not sure how well this is gonna turn out. But you gotta experiment at times. Okay. Brushes. And not the best with that. Maybe work at it a bit. Let's see, come on, come on. Yeah. No. It's mainly that I didn't get the physical part of it all the way on there. That's the problem. Although it's not going to look too bad, I don't think, from farther away. No one's gonna be looking at the page this close. But for this down here, can probably just contrast that. Okay. Just blend this a bit. Alright, alright. Okay. Get the cloud more evened out there. Okay. Okay, now let's see about contrast, maybe? Okay, let's select all this. Should I... whole area. Okay. Let's try this. Colors. Well, don't freeze, I need you... Come on. Be a good little computer. There, okay. Saturation, shadow, brightness, contrast. Reset. What do I do? 60, no. No, whoa, whoa, whoa. 30. And 30? Yeah. That's better. But is it? The main issue is that bottom area. Okay. I'm just going to fill this in here. And then I'll do what I did up top. Try to bleed it in. Okay. Orbis Bog. And have it on repeat so the music doesn't keep cutting out. Here we go. And let's see if this looks good at all. Yeah, that's okay. Just get the edge smoothed out a bit. Alright, alright. I think that'll be okay. Where are my... image? Okay, there's the tools. He did not disappear on me. Okay. Let's smooth that out. Alright, alright, alright. Okay. Switch to white. And let's spackle in the stars. Oh, okay. There we go. Now let's spackle in the stars. Believe it's true that there are rocks left in both of our shoes. If the silence takes you, then I hope it takes me too. I'll hold you near, 'cause you'll be on the sound I want to hear. Melody softly soaring through my atmosphere. Yeah, I always like that song. Now I'm going to be questioning if the stars are any good. Question too many of the details. A lot of people would probably just leave things as is when they make them and just get on with the next thing, but I'm too focused on, like, the little stuff. Well, I couldn't whistle for quite a number of years. It took me forever to figure out how to do that. Hopefully that did not, like, slice into your brain with how, like, loud that might have been. I have a feeling some of these stars are way too small. But I don't want to make them too prevalent and too big, otherwise it's gonna look like snowflakes. There we go. Okay. And let's see about the kanji. Okay. For this, I'm gonna have to go back to a previous comic. Okay, Comic 12, Fightful Horizons, page 44. Oh wow, page 44 for that one. Come on. Load up. Alright. Okay. Alright. Think I got the kanji. Okay. Yeah, this little sliver of kanji that no one's gonna see. Although I do have to do the kanji again towards the bottom of the page. Stop messing up. Okay. Make it a smaller brush. Make it look like a calligraphy pen is like slivered it off into a taper there. Okay. There we go. Yes. I'll add it. Yeah, you always want to make these look... When it comes to like kanji, calligraphy type stuff, you kind of want to make it look like it's been chopped into the thing with like sharp edges and stuff. How the Japanese characters always look for the lettering. Because obviously it evolved out of using like kanji brushes and everything. Oh right, I was gonna make this part black. Oh, I can do that after I do the kanji. Where did I put... Here it is. Alright. There is a lot more work that goes into making the comic than I would have ever thought when I was younger. At least with how detailed I do it now. And that goes like that and that. Sorry not talking as much, just really concentrating on trying to get the look of the lettering correct. Okay. No. Like... Come on. Like that? No. Little more like that. Oh well, don't feel too much like it's an impossible task or anything, Shadow. It's just the way that I choose to make the comic. Everyone does things their own ways. How long and how much work goes into something is something that differs between person to person, what all they want to create, how they want to create it, and how speedy or slow they are. I know that I am not nearly as fast as Masasa at making, like, colors and stuff. What takes her a couple of minutes will take me, like, 15 minutes to half an hour. But the main thing is that you create what you want to create. As long as you are making your stuff, that is what matters. There we go. Yeah, I think that'll be alright. Do I want to keep this like this, though? Let's... Other one comes in like this. There we go. Yeah, I think that'll... Yeah, let's raise it a bit. There we go. There we go. Alright, I think I'm done with the page. So let's see... Yeah... Let's... Oh right, I was gonna do blacks at one part. Switch back. Hang on. There we go. And down here. This was the area that I was gonna do the blacks. Just to give it some more dynamicness to make the scene pop more. There we go. Got that. Well, I hope this has not been too boring of a stream for anyone. I'm sure we're getting towards the end of this one. And as always, I do thank everybody for tuning in and everything. Obviously, this comic page is going to go up in a little bit. go. Fill in the whites. Magnify. Here we go. And now I think I might be done. Just fix this up a bit. Okay. Am I done? I don't like that star. That was the wrong layer. There we go. Make sure it's wiped out of existence. Okay. Let us see. Nope! Missed the sky up here. Yeah. Always gotta double, triple, quadruple check. And then still make mistakes and edit it while it's already up, and hope nobody notices when you put up the revised version that's fixed the problem. Okay. Loud. And then that. Alright. I have had to color so much more like sky than I've ever done in any of the previous comics since it's been night the whole comic. Thankfully, I'm not doing it physically now. Doing all those, like, nighttime scenes with just graphite is so exhausting. All the pressure I always have to put when, like, drawing the blacks physically. It is tiring as hell. A lot more relaxing with just a stylus and tablet. Just registers your pressure, and you don't have to push down at all. Okay, got that. Now let's add the stars. Star. Stars. And stars. That good? Alright. Let's make this one bigger. Alright. Alright. I think, I hope, I pray that I have everything. Okay, this all looks alright. Well, I think this might be ready. Let me check down here. I'll say it's ready. Just for, to give a comparison of a before and after, here it is, unedited, like, well, without the blacks. There's still editing I did beforehand, but that's like little minuscule stuff. Then here it is, after. Ta-da! That is how a comic page is made by me. And I think I'm getting hungry, so I'm probably gonna get off here and touch up a tiny bit more things and get some food to eat. So, thank you all for tuning in. I do hope you've enjoyed your time. Apparently, you have been Handgun. And I will see you in the next stream, I guess. And I just realized Hold on, we gotta get the old man here. Wrong one. Forgot to do his sleep. But yeah, thank you for all tuning in. And, you know where to find me. Twitter, DeviantArt, YouTube, Discord, whatever. But yeah. Thanks for coming. Stay tuned for more.